Luo Feng and the other two drank like there was no one else around. Nuolan Shan stood beside with an ugly expression. The other two bald universe mercenaries were equally unhappy because in the universe maintaining respect for the strong was the most basic form of etiquette. From their point of view, the three youths before them were too arrogant and egotistical. This. Hurwa and Bulemu looked at each other, not daring to make a sound. This wine is really not bad. In reality the price would be at least 100 times higher, right? Thunder God complimented. And it's very hard to buy. Hong added. The benefits of the virtual universe are many. Luo Feng complimented. Standing beside the table, Nuolan Shan's eyes twitched a few times, his scorpion-like gaze swept across the three sitting at the table, suddenly shouting, "Three punks who don't understand etiquette." Luo Feng and the other two still didn't look at him. "I'll let you know, even in the virtual universe, you have to respect the strong." Oh. His right leg was like a large blade, slicing through the air, lightning fast as it slashed towards Luo Feng. "You dare to attack?" Luo Feng roared, his body fiercely leaning backwards, simultaneously using his left arm to block the kick. Nuolan Shan's right leg fiercely smashed into Luo Feng's arm. Luo Feng's entire body immediately retreated backwards, staggering a few steps. Simultaneously his eyes gleamed, staring at the wine bottles, plates etc. beside him. The wine bottles and plates immediately floated up and swiftly smashed over. "Fight!" Thunder God roared. Hong too rushed forward like lightning. Everyone had a beginner-level warlord-level body constitution. Who was afraid of who? Careful, his explosive strength is even stronger. Luo Feng shouted. He was mentally prepared for Nuolan Shan's explosive attack before, however that kick strength still exceeded Luo Feng's expectations. His left arm was in excruciating pain. "Fighting with me?" Nuolan Shan's cold leg slashed towards Thunder God, who was the first to rush over. Thunder God's entire waist twisted, dodging the kick like a fried dough twist, his fist drawing an arc as though it was accelerated by a centrifuge, whistling strangely as it smashed towards Nuolan Shan. Nuolan Shan creased his eyebrows, his left leg strangely slashed horizontally, cutting towards Thunder God's waist, creating a shockwave. Thunder God's body softened as if it was made of cotton. It actually wrapped itself around Nuolan Shan's left leg, at the same time preparing to use its binding technique. Soft techniques. Nuolan Shan's expression changed. Buzz. The muscles on his left leg bulged and at the same time, he slithered out of the entanglement like a python. Boom. With a terrifying explosive sound, Hong's right leg was like a sharp awl piercing towards Nuolan Shan's head. Nuolan Shan laughed savagely. He actually charged forward, just that his body slightly lowered, easily dodging that kick. But Hong's right leg that had been thrusting out had actually fiercely smashed downwards, directly smashing towards Nuolan Shan's head. Scram. Nuolan Shan shouted, his head actually smashing forward, his neck instantly becoming 2 or 3 times thicker. Boom. Hong's head collided with Hong's right foot, causing him to lose his balance and fly to the side. On the other hand, Thunder God's hands were like a lover's caress, his 10 fingers moving slightly, as if a gust of wind was blowing towards Nuolan Shan's flushed red face. But if one looked closely, it would seem that every finger was like a python. Chi-chi, Hong once again rushed forward, his fists were like waves, each punch heavier than the last, extremely peculiar. Break God. Luo Feng, who was standing not too far away, shouted. A thread of spirit energy was like a needle, piercing straight towards Nuolan Shan's brain. Scram. Nuolan Shan shouted, his eyes glaring, his arms strangely expanding, at the same time bringing with it a peculiar prickling feeling. He smashed apart Thunder God's palms and Hong's fists, simultaneously smashing into the two's chests, causing Hong and Thunder God to spit out blood on the spot and fly backwards. Silence. Within the killing field's spacious hall, many people were looking over. If you break anything, put the money on my tab. Nuolan Shan shouted, following which he looked coldly at Luo Feng and the other two. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were incomparably shocked. Normally against opponents of the same level, Luo Feng's spirit energy attacks could completely sweep them away. However, as there were no spirit weapons in the hall, Luo Feng could only unleash his spirit attacks. However, this time, it didn't seem to affect Nuolan Shan at all. And Hong and Thunder God, before the Great Nirvana period, one was an internal martial arts expert, the other was proficient in yoga and internal martial arts. The two were both experts in close combat, and this time they were actually defeated by one person. One had to know, everyone's body fitness level and spirit reading strength were the same. This was the virtual universe, everyone's body fitness level was exactly the same. Just you want to use spirit attacks against me? Nuolan Shan looked at the shocked Luo Feng, laughing coldly. In the Battle Axe dojo, if one doesn't have a way to deal with spirit attacks, how can one survive, much less win 1,000 battles and obtain the Battle Axe fighter title? Even though their spirit reading strength was the same, but the strength of their consciousness as a Battle Axe Universe level 9 warrior, his consciousness was indeed extremely strong. As for the two of you, Nuolan Shan looked at Hong and Thunder God. I admit your close combat techniques aren't weaker than mine, it's a pity your strength exertion is too weak. My strength exertion is more than twice that of yours. Don't think that just because this is the virtual universe network, you can look down on the universe level warriors. Even with the same body, the strong can still easily trample on you. Well said. Beside, the universe mercenary Koenshi shouted. Right? In the virtual universe network, even the weak have to respect the strong. In terms of consciousness, technique, experience, strength, exertion, etc., these punks are still too far off. Still arrogant. Beside, there were a few universe-level warriors speaking. Immediately many people looked at Luo Feng and the other two with weird gazes. These three punks actually dared to disrespect the universe level? Respecting the strong, this was the universe's most basic etiquette. Serves them right. Serves them right to be trampled on. Many people said amongst themselves. Hong, Luo Feng and Thunder God's expressions were ice cold. Nuolan Shan. Luo Feng said coldly, respecting the strong is the most basic etiquette. Before this, I've never offended any of the strong seniors in the Killing Fields Great Hall. However you bastard, because of your greed, my clansmen have died by your hands in the tens of thousands, right? Earth's people had indeed died because of the Nuolan Shan family. In the few battles, many had died from the shockwaves. Along with the arrival of the Nuolan Shan family, the entire world's headquarters cities were in chaos. Many fought and looted, many died in the chaos. You even wanted to forcefully buy my planet earlier? Killing my clansmen, forcefully buying my planet, and you still want me to respect you? Bullshit. Keep dreaming. Luo Feng lowered his head and spat fiercely. Nuolan Shan's expression kept changing, however he had no way to refute. What Luo Feng said was indeed true. The surrounding people from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire who had some background nodded, so it was like that. No wonder this youth would go against the battle-axe titled fighter. Oh. No wonder. This youth sure has guts. The surrounding people didn't find it strange, they had enmity with each other. Naturally there was no need to talk about respect. Nuolan Shan looked at Luo Feng, nodding slightly. What a talkative mouth. It's not that I can speak, it's that I'm in the right. Being in the right makes me strong, hence, I naturally won't be afraid of you, I won't lower my head to you. Luo Feng stared at Nuolan Shan, laughing coldly. Mr. Nuolan Shan, if you weren't greedy, the three of us brothers were drinking here, why did you have to bully us three juniors? Nuolan Shan was furious within, however he didn't know what to say, he clenched his fists tightly. What, you want to fight again? Thunder God cried out weirdly. We can't beat you, a universe level 9 senior with the battle-axe title. It was rare for Hong to mock someone. Big brother, second brother, let's go. Luo Feng called out. Let's go. Hong said. Let's not waste time talking to these kinds of people. Thunder God agreed. Luo Feng and the other two immediately headed out of the large hall. Nuolan Shan's expression was ashen, he was infuriated within, however he was clear that he was indeed eyeing Earth, eyeing its treasures. Since he was greedy, naturally he couldn't say it out loud. What's more, he didn't want to reveal this now because the treasures on Earth, he didn't want anyone else to discover them. Luo Feng. Nuolan Shan said coldly. Luo Feng turned around looking at Nuolan Shan, smiling. Mr. Nuolan Shan, is there anything else? Earlier when I attacked you, were you unhappy? Nuolan Shan squinted his eyes. Right, I wasn't happy. Luo Feng laughed coldly. You, a universe level 9, experience, strength, consciousness, etc. are all stronger than us, the battle wasn't fair at all and you want us to be unhappy? I'll give you one chance. Nuolan Shan snorted softly. I'll find 3 underlings the same level and level as you, they'll each battle with you 3 times. As long as you can win 1 out of the 3 battles, then this bet will be your win. I'll give you 10 billion Ganwu dollars if you don't win a single battle, give me your planet. Betting is fine but the stakes are planets? No way. Luo Feng looked at Nuolan Shan. Nuolan Shan gritted his teeth in anger. This Luo Feng, wasn't he overestimating Earth too much? Unless Luo Feng didn't know. Even with the automaton ship and other treasures with LuoFeng's background, the moment he took it out, it would be snatched away. Directly exchanging it for 100 billion Ganwu dollars, he's actually not willing, this is 100 billion Ganwu dollars. He really wanted to obtain the legal rights to Earth. If that was the case, even if the treasures on Earth couldn't be excavated, he could still directly auction Earth and sell off all the treasures. With the legal rights, doing many things would be much more convenient, there wouldn't be a need to sneakily send 2 universe levels to infiltrate Earth. This kind of action was called stealing. And what Nuolan Shan was most worried about was that Luo Feng had already applied for the rights to Earth from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. That way, the big families of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire would know how to head to Earth. Nuolan Shan was afraid. Those big families too were interested in Earth, sending people through the wormhole to head to Earth. After all, the Nuolan Shan family was only the 3rd family of the Kaluo Empire. And the influential big families of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, their founders were usually sector lords. If those families were to interfere, his Nuolan Shan family would have no hope at all. Within the Great Hall of the Killing Fields, Nuolan Shan watched as Luo Feng and the other 2 left, his gaze cold. The 2 bald universe mercenaries from the North Dragon City organization walked over, one of them Instructor Quincy even laughed. Mr. Nuolan Shan, that Luo Feng and the other 2 are just 3 punks, there's no need to be angry at them. If Mr. Nuolan Shan isn't happy, find a chance and destroy their bodies in reality. Right, Mr. Nuolan Shan, I think we should enter the battle space first. The other bald universe mercenary urged. Wait a moment. Nuolan Shan was cold, turning to look at the not-too-distant Bulemu and Hurua. The 2 of you come here. Us. The white-skinned red-haired youth Hurua and the tall and sturdy black man Bulemu looked at each other, their hearts filled with fear. A warrior that even the 2 instructors had to smile and talk to was looking for the 2 of them? It was simply too easy to bully the 2 of them. Hurua felt even more bitter within. Luo Feng, we've been screwed over by you too. Greetings, Lord. Hurua and Bulemu said respectfully. Whatever Mr. Nuolan Shan asks you, just answer. Instructor Quincy ordered. Yes. The two replied respectfully. Let me ask you. Nuolan Shan looked at the two. That LuoFeng's virtual universe network number is. Hurwa and Bilemu were slightly shocked, hesitating for a moment, looking at the two universe-level instructors and the battle-axe-titled warrior. The two lowered their heads and exchanged glances. Finally Hurwa said softly, Sir, LuoFeng's virtual universe network number is. Hurwa reported a long string of numbers. Okay. After hearing that, Nuolan Shan turned and left. The two bald universe mercenaries followed behind. Milky Way Earth. The West Lake courtyard had been rebuilt. Luo Feng had even ordered an even higher level D1 grade castle. The entire castle was also the planet's main control center for the planet's defense system. The entire solar system's many little satellites' defense systems were all under this control. Castle, 7th level planet control room. Master. 3 batches of people have entered the wormhole in the virtual zone. The first batch is AD-3 spaceship, the second batch is AD-1 spaceship, and the third batch is AC-8 spaceship. Luo Feng stood within the main control room of the Earth's defense system. Before him was a huge floating screen. On it there were 3 images, each of the 3 universe ships. This scene caused Luo Feng to slightly crease his eyebrows as he pondered. These 3 groups of people should be from 3 different places. According to the grade of the spaceship, we can determine the strength of the spaceship. The first batch has a high chance of being universe-level warriors, the second batch is an elite star level or universe level, the third batch has a high chance of being a star level team. Luo Feng swiftly deduced within, ever since he applied to become Earth's leader. In that case, the way to Earth was to enter through the wormhole and travel for 2 years and 8 months. The Empire would definitely know about this method. Hence, Luo Feng expected that some other powers would send their scouting teams over. Luo Feng, there's a new mail for you in the Virtual Universe Network. Oh, connect to the Virtual Universe Network. Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-star bay had many large luxurious residences either by the bay or by the protruding hills and mountains, each family built according to their own wishes. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God bought a plot of land by the bay, many of the buildings were made of wood. Young master, this is a beautiful move. Second young master, this is the time to kick. Uncle Meng too, when will I be able to enter the inner sect? Very quickly, just a little more training and you'll get it. In a 3-story wooden house, 2 black Meng youths were teaching Luo Feng's 2 children, Ping Ping and Little Hai. When Luo Feng suddenly appeared, the 2 children looked over in surprise. Daddy. Luo Ping and Luo Hai, under Luo Feng's instructions, were specially sent into the virtual game. It was a virtual game with supplementary teaching effects, naturally learning in the midst of entertainment. In terms of body strength exertion techniques etc., even though they were still children, these 2 children of his were many times stronger than him back when he lived in a cheap rental house. And Luo Feng had long used some nurturing and evolution treasures for the children. This was very common among the big families in the universe. This allowed Luo Hai and Luo Ping to reach the intermediate warrior level at the mere age of 4. On Earth, it was indeed shocking, however in the universe it was very normal. Who's mail? Luo Feng sat on a chair beside with a thought. A screen appeared before him, swiftly pulling out a mail. Oh? It's actually a mail from Nuolan Shan. Luo Feng was very shocked. This Nuolan Shan actually knew his virtual universe network number. Maybe Nuolan Shan knew he wouldn't chat with him, hence he simply sent a mail over. Luo Feng too was interested as he carefully read the mail. It was written very long, explaining in detail the dangers of the universe, reminding Luo Feng of the dangers of the automaton ship. 10 birds in the forest are not worth as much as 1 bird in the hand. The automaton ship was expensive, however if he didn't have the life to spend it, he might as well exchange for it now. TSK this Nuolan Shan is really rich. Luo Feng looked at the mail, Nuolan Shan's large amount of conditions. This time he didn't want to buy Earth, but to jointly manage Earth with Luo Feng. The 2 of them were in the form of shares. Luo Feng had the majority, still the leader. Their Nuolan Shan family had the minority. At the same time, the automaton ship would belong to the Nuolan Shan family. This way, the Nuolan Shan family could still do many things. Share form? Jointly manage? They only want the automaton ship? Luo Feng rubbed his chin. Don't exchange? Luo Feng, the Unimo planet ship is already damaged, the conditions to repair it are very harsh. And when your strength is strong enough, you can get your hands on that automaton ship. Then you can do whatever you want. Babata said, the automaton race's technological advancement far exceeds that of human society. Don't ever agree to that Nuolan Shan. Earth's treasure, this automaton ship can be said to be your trump card in the future. I understand. Luo Feng nodded, after which he deleted the mail that Nuolan Shan had arranged for his underlings to carefully write. After a while. Luo Feng, Hurwa and Bilemu are requesting a call. Connect. Luo Feng flew into the wooden hut's 3rd floor. A screen appeared before him. On it was the skinny Hurwa and the tall and sturdy Bilemu. Luo Feng, I'm very sorry, we've given your virtual universe network number to Nuolan Shan. We didn't have a choice. However, just a virtual universe network number, it shouldn't affect you too much, right, Luo Feng? Hurwa said. Beside him Bilemu also said, we've just received the order to gather, we're about to set off to participate in the universe mercenary trainee exams, see you later. Hope we'll be able to return alive. Hurwa revealed a smile. All the best. Luo Feng raised his fist. Come back alive, the matter of revealing my virtual universe network number will be forgotten. Haha. Hurwa laughed. Right, Luo Feng, I see that you three brothers have always been in the Slaughterhouse's slaughter space. If you have the time, go try out the battle space. It's much more interesting than the slaughter space. Battle space. Luo Feng was slightly stunned. Alright, I'll go take a look later. Earth had been managed by Luo Feng to the point that it was impregnable. He even went through the slave market to purchase 29-star level 9 stages, along with the 7-star level 9 stages that were still alive, forming a 36-man elite team. And with the planet's defense system, it could be said that as long as it wasn't a universe level, it would be easy to deal with. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were all immersed in their own training. Slaughterhouse. So the battle space is like this. Look at the introduction. Compared to the slaughter space, it's quite interesting. Luo Feng and the other two stood at the counter of the Slaughterhouse's Great Hall, looking at the video introduction on the screen. The slaughter space was specially made to serve one person. One could set up all sorts of opponents within. It was the best place to train. And the battle space was where true fighters battled against each other. The battle was between two true humans, and not virtual. And the consumption within the battle space was only 1/10 of the slaughter space. I'm a star level 1, I can only challenge opponents of the same level for now. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God sat in a corner of the Slaughterhouse's Great Hall. A screen floated before them, on it were large amounts of opponents' strength introductions. To battle, one had to send out a request and the opponent had to accept. Haha 30 big brother. Look, this person actually calls himself the number 1 warrior, yet he's won 21 matches, lost 921, his evaluation is still 1 star. The battle space, one could casually give themselves a name. This was for some famous people and big figures to use to hide their identities and training. These types of consumption places, naturally the customers had their own needs, they had their own ways to accommodate them. I can only challenge people of the same level? Luo Feng's gaze immediately went past the evaluation, none. 5 stars, looking at the evaluation, 6 stars, 7 stars etc. opponents. The entire evaluation system, the highest evaluation was 9 stars, that was definitely an absolute warrior of the same level. This month I've already reached the 5th level of control of the Soaring Shuttle. I'll choose a 7-star opponent and try it out. Luo Feng officially sent out a challenge request. This was Luo Feng's first time challenging someone of the same level and level. 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Damn, I challenged a 6-star opponent and he didn't even reply, ignoring me. Thunder God stared. My opponent ignored me too. Luo Feng said helplessly, Big brother, what about you? Big brother? Thunder God looked at Hong. Hong rubbed his nose, saying solemnly, I challenged a Star Traveler level 9 star, I feel I should be able to battle him. However, the challenge request was immediately rejected. The system said as a 9-star warrior, the opponent has the authority to set it, only those at least 7 stars can challenge him. Luo Feng and Thunder God blinked. The 3 brothers. The first time they wanted to spar with someone, they were actually looked down upon. Hong, Luo Feng and Thunder God were all very confident, hence they immediately challenged the strong warriors of the same level. That's not weird, who asked us to be newbies with our ratings of none? Thunder God said helplessly, if we were strong warriors in order to not waste time, we'd probably choose the higher rated ones to battle too. Right now from what I see, we'd better start from scratch and make a name for ourselves. Start from none. Let's rush up the ratings first, then we'll be able to find a strong warrior to spar with. Even though Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were confident they could sweep away the 1 and 2 stars, they still had to take it one step at a time. Luo Feng, what name did you come up with? Thunder God asked. To hide one's identity within the battle space, one could come up with any name. Madman. Luo Feng said, and you? Martial God. Thunder God said, you're shameless enough. Luo Feng was speechless. Beside him Hong couldn't help but laugh. Luo Feng looked at him. Big brother, what about you? Assassin. Hong said casually. Back then Luo Feng had the nickname of Madman and Hong was a killer before the Great Nirvana. As for Thunder God, this person used to be a training maniac, a training madman, daring to have the title of War God. That was crazy enough. Then let's begin. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God lowered their heads, sending out invitations to their opponents. All 3 of them sent out invitations to 1-star opponents. Your challenge pass. Teleport to the battle space. The virtual universe system's notification appeared on Luo Feng's screen. Only then did he let out a sigh of relief. This was his 3rd challenge before he succeeded. He didn't expect the same level 1-star fighters to be so arrogant, disdaining to fight a newbie with a rating of none. The opponent he finally successfully challenged was called Blood Swordsman. Battle space. In an incomparably vast grass field, there was a black metal arena, about 10 kilometers long and 10 kilometers wide. A tall green-skinned man carrying a long blade on his back stood in the arena, muttering, Madman? This opponent actually called himself Madman. Looks like there's a crazy element in his bones. TSK, trampling on a crazy person feels the best. Newbie, let me teach you a good lesson. Nicknamed Blood Swordsman, 12 wins, 3 losses. In the arena, a black-haired young man wearing a black battle suit appeared out of thin air, stepping on the Soaring Shuttle. The battle suit and the Soaring Shuttle were both selected from the system. The battlefield dimension and the slaughter dimension allowed players to choose any weapon they wanted. As for the battle armor, they had to choose a battle armor of the same level. Hello. Luo Feng smiled as he looked at the green-skinned youth. Very polite. You call me lunatic? Just because you are very polite, I won't trample on you too badly. Blood Swordsman laughed. Blood Swordsman? You are my first opponent in the battle zone. If you accept my challenge, I will let you die a painless death. Luo Feng smiled, however his eyes were filled with a bloodthirsty madness. Even though he had been massacring in the killing field space, he was able to vent the bloodthirsty urges he had been suppressing for so long. However, venting to his heart's content also caused this bloodlust to seep deeper into his bones. What an arrogant newbie. The Blood Swordsman laughed coldly. With a rumble, he rushed towards Luo Feng at 10 times the speed of sound. The high speed caused the air to explode far behind the Blood Swordsman. Luo Feng calmly floated in mid-air. Go. Luo Feng extended his hand and gently pointed at the Blood Swordsman. Shio. The 30 golden engravings on the blades swiftly emitted golden threads, forming a golden swordfish. The swordfish was almost alive. With a twist of its tail in mid-air, with a slight movement, it drew a peculiar arc, easily brushing past the origin energy blade that the Blood Swordsman was trying to block, piercing right through his forehead. The Blood Swordsman's body flew a distance due to inertia. Simultaneously, he naturally fell downwards. Finally his body landed on the grass outside the arena. A golden swordfish swiftly flew back to Luo Feng's feet, merging into the soaring shuttle. Madman's first battle victory. After madly studying the swordfish formation for a month in the slaughter dimension, battling over 10,000 times, I've already reached the 5th level of control of the soaring shuttle. Right now, using the 4th level of control is like using my own arm, nimble and nimble. Killing those of the same level, I'll definitely sweep through them. Luo Feng was very confident. This confidence wasn't without reason. Because, his consciousness amplification had reached 36. Among the star level 1 spirit readers, to be able to simultaneously control 36 weapons, even in the universe he would be considered an absolute genius. Luo Feng's consciousness was strong because of the golden horned beast's powerful soul. Such a strong consciousness. And with the Yun Mo planet's control chapter basic training, this soaring shuttle was created by his teacher, Hu Yen Bo. Using the Yun Mo planet's control methods made him like a fish in water. Not afraid of learning too much, just afraid of learning too much. Luo Feng's mastery of the soaring shuttle was indeed high. Dang. The golden swordfish's tail shook, immediately smashing onto the green blade, causing the spirit weapon to tilt and crash into the black arena, causing a small hole to appear in the arena, with sparks flying everywhere. And the golden swordfish took the opportunity to circle around the black-robed opponent's head, slicing it off. Madman's second battle victory. Puchi. The golden swordfish pierced right through the opponent's chest, exploding in an instant. 30 blades shot out from various parts of the opponent's body, 3 of which shot out from the top of his head. Madman's third battle victory. Woo, I've finally gotten a 1-star rating. Continue. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Thunder God wielded a thunder blade, releasing his domain around him, snakes of electricity circling him. A star level 1 with his own domain? When I first saw the information the system gave me, I couldn't believe it. There really isn't one. Come on. Let me see just how strong a domain master is, said a one-eyed tall and skinny man who was rated as a 4-star domain master. He held a saber in his hand. You'll find out soon enough. Thunder God grinned. After killing you, I'll get a 3-star rating. Hong wielded a long black spear, silently standing in the arena. A Star Traveler level 9 domain warrior? Interesting, it's rare to meet one like this, come on. A short and sturdy youth, wielding a blade in each hand, his eyes red with excitement. Meeting a 6-star rated one in the third battle, very good. Hong nodded. Ever since the first 2 battles when he revealed his domain. This line was automatically added to the system's information. He didn't expect that someone with a 6-star rating would take the initiative to challenge him. How could Hong refuse? Naturally it was a battle. Within the arena, battles were extremely quick. It was very normal to fight hundreds of battles in a day. Of course, after losing a battle, many people would stop and reflect on the battle. Battle, defeat, reflection, comprehension, and battle again. This was a process that many people experienced. However, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God, when they first started their crazy battles, they didn't lose a single battle. Especially Hong and Thunder God, as they had their own domains, they were challenged by higher-rated fighters. This caused their ratings to rise extremely quickly. After all, defeating a 6-star martial artist of the same level was more effective than defeating 101-star martial artists of the same level. About 3 hours later, within the Great Hall of the Killing Fields, Luo Feng and the other 2 sat together. Second brother, I haven't even fought to my heart's content, and you're already calling me out? Luo Feng looked unhappily at Thunder God. Every battle has to be serious, especially when they're getting stronger and stronger. I'm a little mentally tired, everyone rest. Thunder God smiled. Beside him Hong nodded. I'm not too tired. I haven't felt anything yet. Luo Feng couldn't help but say, how many stars do you guys have? 6 stars. Thunder God said. 7 stars. Hong said. I'm only 3 stars. Luo Feng gritted his teeth. I initiated the battles at the start, after that it was the higher-rated ones who challenged me. Thunder God laughed. Star level 1 domain warriors are very rare, hence many warriors want to spar with me. Me too. Hong said. Luo Feng laughed helplessly, understanding why Hong and Thunder God's ratings rose so high. Even though he killed quickly, most of them were low-rated opponents. Also, he didn't have anything that could attract high-rated opponents to challenge him. I'll drink a drink first. After a while, I'll continue to enter. I won't stop until I reach 6 stars. Luo Feng said 6 stars only then could one barely be considered a true warrior of the same level. Even for the same level fighters, in terms of strength exertion, awareness, experience, weapon usage techniques, realms etc., it would result in a huge difference in battle strength. Crazy. Luo Feng was crazy. Battle after battle, causing his battle record to constantly change, 121 wins, 0 losses, 183 wins, 0 losses, 218 wins, 0 losses. This kind of record of not losing at all, finally attracted the attention of some high-rated warriors, who began to battle Luo Feng. Because these hundreds of wins and 0 losses, it could very well be the first time a warrior entered the battleground space. There was a good saying, after spending a long time in the battleground space, as long as the battles continued, no one would dare say they could always maintain a perfect victory. The Black Dragon Mountain Islands killing fields, indeed gathered countless elites of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God's rapid rise in the battleground space, gradually attracting the attention of many. In the battleground space, if one spent money, others could watch the battles. Hence the more spectators, the more shocking the fee. Of course, even if it was a star level 1 fighter with a 9-star rating, the fee wouldn't be too shocking. After all, it was just a star level 1 fighter. If it was a domain lord or sector lord battle, then there would be more spectators. However, these star level battles, there would still be a few higher-ups of the organizations watching occasionally, to see if they could recruit people into their own organizations. After all, geniuses had to be recruited early. If they were late, they would be snatched away by other organizations. Nuolan Shan, I heard that your 100 Tiger building isn't it gathering some elite disciples? Look, this young man who just appeared, he's definitely a first-class spirit reader genius. If you miss him, others will snatch him away. First class. Right, this young man's consciousness level is extremely high. A star level 1 with such a high consciousness level, it's simply unbelievable. Also, in terms of controlling spirit weapons, he's extremely high too. In just 2 short days he's already 822 wins and 1 loss, his rating, he's already 7 stars. Nuolan Shan looked at the battle on the screen in front of him. Just as he was about to watch carefully, he noticed a person's face. Luo Feng. Nuolan Shan looked, his original anticipation immediately vanished, his heart filled with displeasure. Nuolan Shan's face was cold, looking at the screen in front of him playing the video, he didn't have any good feelings towards Luo Feng. Especially after he had arranged for someone to write a very enticing email and send it over, however Luo Feng didn't reply at all. This naturally made him furious. Seeing Luo Feng in the limelight, how could he be happy? Watching and watching, Nuolan Shan revealed a shocked expression, looking at the big-nosed man sitting beside him. This is the genius you were talking about? In the video, Luo Feng was basically being trampled on. Complete defeat. This is the video of the last match. The big-nosed man introduced, this youth called Madman. After losing this match, he hasn't fought again. The video of the last match? Nuolan Shan's lips curled upwards, looking at the scene of Luo Feng being trampled on, his smile grew. Within the arena, it was completely empty. Luo Feng sat alone on the black arena, the soaring shuttle too fell beside him. How could it be like this? Couldn't even withstand a single blow? Completely couldn't withstand a single blow. She's just a fighter, not a spirit reader. A star level 1 fighter with only a 6-star rating. Actually, my soaring shuttle actually couldn't resist her at all? Luo Feng's eyes were filled with pain. The scene before was like a nightmare. 822 wins. 1 loss. 822 consecutive wins? What kind of glory was that? What kind of spirit was that? Luo Feng had thought that he was an absolute genius amongst the star level 1 fighters, that not many could beat him. However, just now, meeting that dual blade wielding female fighter, he was basically being trampled on. This female fighter even gave him chances time and time again. Every time she could kill him, she let him go. Consecutively letting him go at crucial moments 9 times, the last one slashing across his forehead. Death. In just one short battle, the opponent threw the fight 9 times in a row. Clearly, this female fighter was just playing. Her strength far exceeds Luo Feng's. Like an adult toying with a child, she threw the fight 9 times and killed Luo Feng on the last attack. I'm actually this weak? Am I that weak? Luo Feng gritted his teeth in pain. At this time there were many challenge requests sent to Luo Feng, however he didn't even have the mood to fight anymore, his mind was filled with the scene from before. No matter how strong his swordfish formation was, under that female fighter's incomparably firm and sharp blade, it was slashed to the side. Left and right blades, flawless. How could he lose so badly? She was at the same level and she was a martial artist. I can't believe. Luo Feng could accept defeat, but he couldn't accept such a crushing defeat. This crushing defeat told Luo Feng one thing. Just on this Black Dragon Mountain Island, there are many people stronger than him at the same level. Otherwise, how could someone of the same level trample on him so easily? In another battleground dimension, Thunder God was fighting a female martial artist dressed entirely in white. Thunder God's previous battle record was also very impressive. 691 wins, 3 losses, and his evaluation was 8 stars. Although he had failed 3 times, Thunder God did not care. After all, there were always winners and losers in a decisive battle. Most of the people who came to this battle were here to achieve a breakthrough. Failure was much more beneficial to a breakthrough than success. And because he had a domain, Thunder God's opponents were mostly 7, 8, or even 9 stars. Losing 3 battles was very normal. Break. Thunder God was in a state of madness, completely enveloped within the domain. The genetic energy blade in his hand became bolts of lightning. Dang. A series of clashing sounds. The female warrior was dressed in white, looking clean and refreshing. Her face was expressionless and her eyes were cold. She held a sharp saber in her left and right hands. The two sabers floated in the air and unexpectedly blocked Thunder God's rapid slashes. However, in this incomparably fast battle, the white-clothed female warrior's saber strangely passed through Thunder God's saber phantoms and swept past Thunder God's neck. His head flew into the air. Thunder God defeated. Hong, dressed in a black battle uniform, wielding a silver long spear, his eyes gleaming as he looked at the opponent in front of him. Haha, satisfying, satisfying. I've fought 695 battles in a row. Compared to you, the other opponents are not even worth mentioning. I'm not worthy of being called an elite. Hong's words were automatically translated by the virtual assistant into the universe language. Opposite him stood a skinny man in a white robe. The man held a long sword in his hand and looked at Hong. I didn't expect to meet an opponent like you in the Slaughterhouse battleground dimension. Again, the man said in a low voice. Shio. His body charged forward like lightning, directly closing in on Hong. At the same time, the long sword in his hand seemed to have a mind of its own as it drew a strange arc, as though preparing to attack various parts of Hong's body. Ha ha ha. Hong laughed heartily. The tip of the spear in his hand curled, as though it was creating a million waves, directly engulfing the opponent. At the same time, the concept of the spear merged into the dark domain, like a terrifying whirlpool in the darkness, directly swallowing the white-robed youth swordsman. The white-robed youth swordsman's long sword was incomparably clean, piercing into every part of the whirlpool. At the same time the lightning domain around him expanded. Rumble. The two clashed and separated, and then clashed again at lightning speed. Intense. Hong had fought 695 battles in a row before, and every one of them had been won easily. But this time he had suddenly met a terrifying opponent. The two of them fought over 1,000 rounds. Obviously Hong's domain was stronger than his opponent's, but the opponent's incomparably accurate, fast and strange sword techniques were indeed extremely strong, causing the two of them to be evenly matched. After fighting for so long, neither of them made a single mistake. Rumble. The two of them stood separately on the arena facing each other. Killer, you've won my respect. Let's call this a draw. The white-robed youth swordsman said. You've also won my respect. Hong's eyes were like stars as he stared at his opponent. I've trained hard in the killing field for a month, and my spear domain has improved again. Until now, I've never used this move. Now, I'll use this move as a sign of respect to you. Hong's words were translated by the virtual assistant into an electronic voice. What? The white-robed youth swordsman's expression changed. This move, I call it, this hatred never ends. After Hong finished speaking, the long spear in his hand trembled, and instantly, the long spear was like a huge dragon that fiercely shot out, bringing with it a whirlpool concept, causing the surrounding dark domain to become even denser, creating an unceasing tornado-like shockwave, with the tip of the spear as the tip. The white-robed youth swordsman's eyes narrowed, and the long sword in his hand stabbed out like lightning. Boom. Every sword strike was strangely just a hair's breadth away, brushing against the edge of the spear tip. The spear tip was incomparably strange and slippery, the entire air seemed to be affected by it, unable to block it at all. And even if the white-robed youth wanted to escape, he was enveloped by the domain, and his speed was inferior. He couldn't block it either. Poochie. The strange and terrifying spear tip pierced straight through the white-robed youth's forehead, coming out from the back of his head. This battle, Killer Hong, victory. Killing Field's Great Hall. The blood-red ceiling of the Great Hall, black tables, ice-cold chairs. Luo Feng and Thunder God sat there, their moods extremely bad. I didn't expect you to meet her too. Luo Feng laughed bitterly. What, you met her too? Thunder God was shocked. Luo Feng nodded. That female fighter really? I'm not her match at all. She was completely toying with me, ravaging me. Her body quality is only at the star level 1, the same level and level as me, but she's actually so much stronger than me. My soaring shuttle, compared to her, is just a joke. Me too, I feel that she should have a domain, but she didn't even use it and already injured me 9 times, killing me on the last one. Tutu. Thunder God laughed bitterly. On Earth. The two of them, one was a peerless genius, the other stood at the pinnacle of Earth, the founder of the Thunder Dojo. Who would have thought that one day, there would be someone of the same level and level as them who could ravage and toy with them?